sun, showing up in the music, with the sound, with our children. Not only the children that come that are youth, but the child that's the very being that is inside of us all, changing and moving and growing and glowing through all of the changes that happened. And I'm just knowing as we settle into this day that the message divinely hits each of us in this place and space and in the space that is online. Please join me in affirming, and so it is. We are an interfaith gathering, a spiritual community that honors all teachings and all spiritual teachers. And now we begin the ceremony that celebrates this oneness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths come for the one universal presence, which we call spirit. Our candle lighter this morning is Dana. Where did she go? There we go. All is divine timing. And so let us begin. The Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. Shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of pristine spirituality. Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. The last candle is a healing candle of love, light, and peace. We invite you in the stillness of your own mind to bring to awareness the names of anyone you wish to be included in this healing flame of light, of love, and of peace. Now that our flames of faith, are fully lighted, we move forward into our celebration, realizing and reaffirming that all paths lead to God. Thank you, Dana. Our reading today comes from the Choice for Reality, from Love is Letting Go of Fear, by Gerald Jampolsky, who is an MD. We can choose our own reality because our will is free. We can choose to see and experience the truth. We can experience the truth of our reality as love. To do this, we must each instant refuse to be limited by the fearful past and future and by the questionable realities we have adopted from our culture. We can choose to experience this instant as the only time there is and live in the reality of now. And so it is. Good morning. Oh, we can do better than that. Good morning. There we go. Thanks. My name is Karen Valera Sherman, and I am one of the licensed practitioners here at the Alaska Center for Spiritual Living. And we have many licensed practitioners, so I'd like them to stand so that you know when I'm talking about prayer, you know who to say, please, will you help me? We have Linda, myself, Bob, we have Cynthia, we have Judy, and we have Robert next door. And the reason why I asked them to stand so that you would know where everyone is because one of the things that we love to do here at the Alaska Center for Spiritual Living is to pray. And there's many ways that you can receive prayer. First of all, if you look in front of you in the back of the chair that's in front of you, there is something that looks like this. It can come in many different colors, but it looks like this, and you can fill out a prayer request. And then Cynthia or myself will send those out for the week. They go in a box that's right there to the right as you walked in. It's a brown wooden box. You also can tap one of us that stood and say, could you please help me with an OM, which we call a 1-moment miracle, right after service. We will see the truth for you. We will know what the truth is when you're hitting a dark moment, and we also will know the truth for you when you have a lot of joy going on and you just want to have a lot more of that. So whatever that may be, you also, there's cards over there near the box, and you can pick up one of those and ask us to spend more time with you. And you also can call in here at the center, and Rev Dawn will get back to you. And if you are online, you can tap something on our online and ask for a prayer request. Reverend Linda will send those out to us. And also, if you're in need and you're on right now, there's always a practitioner that's online, and you can say, please help me know how to get I'm in need of some prayer. And so there are many ways to receive prayer. The only thing that you have to do is say yes. And that's the part that sometimes is challenging. But for me, I use it all the time because I know my humanness can get in the way sometimes. And so I make sure that I reach out to my fellow practitioners. Is there anyone that's here for the first time that would bravely like to raise their hand, because we have a gift for you? And if you would, thank you. It's so nice to see you. Judy, we have two, one in the front and one in the back. And if you're online and you're new, please also let us know, and we will mail that gift out to you. Okay, so we have other ways that you can say yes besides prayer right here in the white sweater. There are several happenings that you can say yes to. One is our metaphysical and holistic event that is happening for the Whole Life Festival, and Joan is going to give us a little bit more details about that, and then I will come back up to finish us out.
So the Whole Life Festival is twice a year over at the Coast International Inn. I'm not sure it's the International Inn anymore. Anyway, it's on Aviation Boulevard off Spenard. It's next Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 6, $10 to get in. We got a table for the first time in quite a few years. Yay! It's half a table, and I'm very grateful for it. There are sign-up sheets to man the table, staff the table with me. I could still use some help in the mornings, either day or maybe Sunday in the afternoon. And we're fine the way we are, too. So even if you can't staff the table, I encourage you to come on down. There's a lot of spiritual seekers. Come and say hello to us and wish us well next week. Thank you.
Thank you, Joan. And then we also have our Foundations for Spiritual Living class that will be starting on October 8th. You can sign up in the back. Bob, our sound person, is one of the dynamic duo that's in leading that class. Yes, it's Kaleem and Bob. They're excellent facilitators. And that will go from 6:30 to 8:30. It runs 10 weeks, and it's a hybrid class. So you can come in person, you can do Zoom, or you can do both. Not feeling so well this week, I'm going to do Zoom. And then you could do it in person on the days that you feel up to it. Okay. So before we go to more music, the person that we have coming up today, I always love having Linda come up and do a talk, because I know that whatever she's talking about, she's living it out in real time. And so it's always nice when people talk from their heart space and from their truth. You always have to have a snorting friend. I always say that. It's very important. They just bring so much joy to your life. And so I know that we're in for a spiritual fest, because I always appreciate that about Linda.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for coming today. And we see faces that we don't know yet. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And to those who are either already watching online or going to watch a little later, I hope you feel the joy that's in this room. The name of the talk is, well, that wasn't on my bingo card. Have you guys heard of the saying? It's going around right now. It's when something unexpected happens to you, and you just kind of are left standing there scratching your head going, well, I didn't see that on my bingo card. It's also called the reality slap. Now, yeah, bingo card's better. What's a reality slap? It might be losing a friend in a plane crash. It might be having a work association die in a fire. It's that stuff that takes you out at the knees. Sometimes you can anticipate things, but for the most part, today's talk about those things where you're just like, WTF? What just happened? Betty's back there going, uh-huh, yep. See you later. Yeah. And so today's talk, and this is like way too much fun, so my class has started Thursday nights. Thank you. It's the Jane Beach class called Courting Love. And the very first week was about reality slaps and talking about things that happen that are unexpected. It was like the best class I've had in a long, long time. It was the first night, and we laughed, and there was joy, and then there was also the space where people shared. And it wasn't like the first night sharing. This is kind of like the 8th class kind of sharing that happened. So I am so excited about the next 7 weeks with this class and everybody that's in it. And as somebody who speaks often, I was like, oh, perfect, I've got my topic. Woo! I do not have to have a personal experience to talk about this. That's why I snorted. I do. And if you know me, you know that whenever I give a talk, the universe loves to send me that experience. So, Thursday after class, I go home. And as I'm walking up to my front door, it's open. And I'm like, well, aren't I just the idiot? I didn't lock my door. It must have blown open. But then I also know the screen door was propped open. So, walk in my house and I notice every light's on. And I know I don't do that. And then I notice that a lot of my possessions are now on the floor. So yes, I went home to finding that my home had been broken into. So the name of my next talk is How I Won the Lottery. Because I don't want any more reality slaps. Now, you guys who know me probably know the first thing that I did. Did anyone want to guess? I called my neighbor. Within 5 minutes, I had 5 different houses of neighbors responding to me. Some were out with flashlights, checking everybody's backyards. Other people were walking up and down the streets. I swear to God, every light in every house came on. You could have seen us from space. That's like, I had a neighbor in my backyard, because they went through the backyard, checking why my floodlights didn't come on, and checking different stuff for me. I had somebody with me kind of comforting, just, taking a look at what had happened. Yeah. And then I had to start thinking, so Thursday happened. Thursday night happened. So Friday rolls around, and I was okay Thursday night. Friday comes around, and I'm starting to feel the emotions of having someone's invade my space. And so by the I just got worse and worse as the day went. So, but I also knew I had this talk. And so I'm supposed to stand up here and say, so when something happens to you, when you get a reality slap, here's what you do. And I'm like, really? You're going to make me walk my talk? Son of a... Oh. Biscuit, yeah. Extra gravy, please. So these are the things I'm supposed to tell you to do when you get a reality slap. And the first is, hold yourself kindly. Hold yourself with compassion. Try to avoid the guilt trips. This was a big one. Learn how to comfort yourself. By the time I was like crying at commercials, I did something that I do all the time with comfort, and I called my friend Allison, because she has such a soothing voice, and she didn't try to change or fix what happened. She just listened to me. She let me cry, and she just kept saying, I'm sorry that you had to have that experience. I'm sorry that that happened. I hope you guys all have people in your life like that you can call up and they go, I got you. I'm holding you. I'm praying for you. Try not to isolate, because that's what I did. I eventually was just sitting on my couch with my head down. Connect to family and friends, which it takes a lot of energy to tell stories. So I was selective in how many people I actually told, because I was still in that space of... The other thing that happened was I started to get the advice. I started to get the fear. They might still be here. Have you checked every closet? Yeah, because they did. It's really obvious that, that they're not here. They might come back. Like, I don't think so. Because seriously, we covered that neighborhood like the rabbits left. That's how bad it was. They were like, I don't know what's going on, but these guys are really excited, and I think that guy's got a gun. And then the you need tos, and you should have. I should have done a lot of things. Remember. So as I'm facing that, I had to remember that we are always at choice. Always at choice. And so, even when your mind tells you you don't have a choice, you do have a choice. So, and that's like, I want to just go back to that secret reading for a second. Because the first line in it was, we choose our own reality. We choose our own reality. I can be scared for the rest of my life. I don't have time. We can choose to see and experience the truth. Now I'll get to kind of what the truth was for me. To do this, we must each instant refuse to be limited by the fearful past and by the questionable realities that we have adopted from our culture. So everyone else's fear coming on to me, I had to choose how much of that I was going to take in and how much of that was my reality. And what space do I want to put this experience, and what space do I want to go forward with this experience? So, we teach a lot of things here. We teach prayer, we teach meditation, we teach, what else do we teach? We teach visioning. But the biggest thing I think that we teach that's the easiest to do is to be in your gratitude. To step into your gratitude. My place just got tossed. What reality was I going to step into? So I stepped into my gratitude list for what happened. So I'm going to tell you some of the things I was grateful for. I'm grateful for my neighbors. I'm serious. Within 5 minutes, that neighborhood was flooded with people. And so the reality of, oh, you might have chased them away, or they might still be, I knew that wasn't true. I mean, there was flashlights and neighbors, and like the place was covered. Whoever was there left and probably knew not to come back. So I was like, okay. Second, now you guys all know Bob the dog. I had Bob the dog. Bob the dog was with me, and he's so sweet. He's got the cute face, and you just want to pet him and kiss him. But I tell you what, if I walk past somebody on a path that is perhaps sketchy, Bob goes into Doberman mode. He knows it, and he, nice doggy. So I knew I had Bob. And I also used Bob in the sense that Bob hates the vacuum cleaner. So I put the vacuum cleaner in front of my front door, so then Bob would. Yeah, I mean, isn't that, yeah. You could, Bob. Okay. The fact that they were not in my house when I came home. They were gone. The fact that my Christmas lights are now up and on. They came in through a window that I had unlocked. But now my windows are secured. Nobody's getting in through those suckers. I realized, because they tossed everything. They opened up every drawer and just tossed everything. I realized that I own a lot of crap. I do. I own a lot of crap. Yeah, I can just see them opening another drawer going, book, 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 book. And it also motivated me to I'm just going to get rid of some of this crap. Like, I don't need it. They didn't break anything. They didn't break anything. I was really grateful because I've got pictures of midnight everywhere. And one of the first things I thought about and I checked on was Midnight's ashes. My dog's ashes. I was like, they can do anything they want, but if they touch my dog that's dead, they're going down. They had left Midnight alone. So I was like, okay. I got a story for my talk. I also know that I'm going to talk about really fun things in the future, whether it's the basis of the talk or not. None of my neighbors got hit. Nobody else in the neighborhood had, if maybe I was the first, I don't know. Anyways, you could go down many roads with that. But nobody else got hit, so. Nothing was stolen. Nothing. They took one bag that had a bunch of empty bags in it. I know. Can you see them in the car? Fudge, what? You know. They left the money that was sitting out on the counter. They went past the prescription drugs that I had sitting there, and I've got some for the shoulder thing. They left my passport. They didn't touch my laptops. And even the way that they came into the house was not easy. We're talking they had to get a wagon, and they had to climb up and over, and then they had to slide over my desk and onto chair. It was not easy to get into my house. But they didn't break anything. They didn't break anything, and they didn't take anything. Maybe some books, I don't know. And so I'm really grateful about that. I found some bras I forgot I had. So what are the chances? Because and of course my neighbors fear, well, you must have chased them off. Well, I don't think so. It seems like they pretty much got everything. So just as a tiny side note, what the thinking is that they're after guns. And I don't have a gun. So, but I'm also just going to toss that out. If you are a household that has a gun, there's a new robbery thing happening. So just make sure your gun is secured. Yeah, they didn't take anything. How does that happen? Like, was the universe in there kind of going, yeah, no, nope. I don't know, but I'm grateful. I'm really grateful. Certainly makes the police report a lot easier. Yeah, they came in, they tossed the place, and then they left. So the other things that you get to practice now is what comforts you. When your back is against the wall and you get really bad news, what comforts you? I want to talk a little bit more about that because we all walk this individual path on the earth. And no matter what our experience might be, we all experience it individually. And so the more that you understand yourself now, when these things come up, you'll have some practice and you'll remember who you are, that child of God that's been set down here to do whatever, but is also protected and loved and cared about. I mean, I'm sure I could have made a bunch of phone calls that night and had a ton of people come to my house, but I had what I needed in that moment. I was just gonna ask you guys real quick, has anybody had, it's willing to say, anybody had a reality slap lately that's real quick? Betty? I'll talk to you later. What comforts you? Has anybody got any ideas or suggestions? Sleep, yes. How important is that, especially when you're stressed out? Absolutely. Joan? Connection to others. Yes. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Remembering. What? Remembering. Yep. Remembering I'm not an idiot. You know, I may have left my window unlocked. Was it Brock? Brock. What? Accepting. Wow. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah. Accepting the situation that has happened around me. It didn't happen to me. It happened around me, and I can accept that. Because I thought about these, whoever broke in. Like, how pissed off must they be? Like, they do all this effort, and they go in the window and slide down the desk and across the chairs, and they're running through my house, and all there is books and bras. You gotta laugh at that. You have to laugh at that. And I had another thought that basically said, what did they need? What is missing in their life that they had to break in and try and find something? And is this somebody I passed on the street that maybe if I would have looked up and waved and said hi? Like there are people hurting so bad out there that they had to break into my house. So I thought about that, and that no matter what my situation is, I'm not in their situation. I'm not in their situation, and I'm grateful for that. Remember who you are. Comfort yourself. Reach out to your friends. If you do not have a neighborhood that would turn all their lights on and show up when you called them, get to know your neighbors. Become that conduit in your neighborhood of love and safety and what's going on and what do you need and here's a casserole and, become. Everyone in my neighborhood knows my name. I could be walking down the street and all the time I hear, "Hey, Midnight's mom!" I hope a couple of them know my name's Linda, but most of them are, "Midnight's mom!" It works. And the other thing is that I would do the same for them. And I have. Be the person you want people around you to be. Be that neighbor. In closing, we have within us the strength and divine wisdom to meet any circumstance. Any circumstance that challenges us also connects us with humanity. We all have fear, and we all want to be loved. But we also can all help each other. Help each other. We can all help each other. So, releasing that experience, I thank you for giving me this forum today to talk about this experience because this comforts me. And so I just release this experience and I turn this over to Karen to do our closing prayer. Thank you, everybody.
trust, healing. That is all us, and we are all it. So as I speak this word of prayer, that whatever is in your mind or your heart on this day, the need for healing, the need for connection, the need for letting go, the need for embracing, that you're able to step into that for yourselves. And remember to say yes to yourself. Say yes to yourself by tapping someone on the shoulder to pray with you, to be that neighbor that lives next door, or that neighbor that's walking down the street, for we are all one. And I am so grateful for the knowingness of this prayer, for the knowingness of love, for the knowingness of truth, for the knowingness of spirit, as a release, knowing that it is absolutely so. No ifs, no ands, no buts. It is so. Please join me in affirming, and so it is.
So it's that time of the service where what's not on your bingo card, that's on mine, is that we collect $1 million today. And so, I also just want to say hi to Susie and Lynn and Anne-Marie and Michelle. Are you not walking with us today, Michelle? And Tony Shannon. Hope you're doing okay out there with all those kids. I know you're bringing them lots of wisdom. So, if everybody wants to take their offering, let's put it on our hearts. Because if you don't get anything else out of this talk today, just remember that we're absolutely connected to our God in every minute and every moment. And so, join me in our affirmation. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, and so it is. And for new people,
Heaven smiling at us. For God's gift of tomorrow. Oh, how we love you. Oh, how we love you.
Today, we talked about making good choices and practice making good choices. And Elijah has something he wants to tell you. He saw an affirmation for himself that he wanted to share with everyone here. And hold it up so they can see it. I deserve good things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yay!
Of the morning, you are heaven smiling at us. You're God's gift of tomorrow. Oh, how we love you. Oh, how we love you.
Before I say our closing, I just want to let you know how funny it is that little guy just ran to Linda, who Linda claims always that she's a dog person and not a kid person. Lie, lies, lies. So many kids run to her, and the kid inside us run to her. And when she teaches, she brings out the kid in you. Lies, lies. She's been telling herself lies. Okay. You keep telling yourself that. You deserve all good things, and that comes in the form of child, their innocence. So as we close today, something came to mind through Linda's talk, Mr. Rogers. And Mr. Rogers, remember, he would always say, so let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? And so it is.